What's going on today, YouTube? It's your boy RJ. Today we're going to be talking about the gender wage gap, and we're going to be dissecting and digesting the answers that we hear from these people on the street. We're going to get down to the real truth about the gender wage gap. Let's get to the video.
Who is the most famous actress you can think of?
Actress? Drew Barrymore.
Okay, if Drew Barrymore was in a movie with a male co-star that nobody had heard of, would it be fair to pay them the same salary?
No.
Why not?
Because he's not, known of, and because he didn't, work to be famous like she did.
Think about it.
Okay. Since Drew is the star of the movie, won't she bring more people to the theater than her co-star?
Yes.
Okay, that's called star power. How is that different than the gender pay gap?
Oh, he blew her head back
That's
with
a
that
loaded
one.
For women or for
Well, I mean, the WNBA complains about not being paid the same to the NBA, and they don't generate as much revenue. So, I mean, isn't that kind of like the same thing?
I feel like the WNBA isn't promoted as much as the NBA because they are women.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't a male co-star that no one's ever heard of not be promoted as much and not be able to?
Yeah, I guess.
So is that comparable?
Maybe.
It is
I mean,
comparable.
So then wouldn't it have more to do with performance than discrimination?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. You're hitting me. I wasn't ready. I don't know.
You're right about that one, but I just feel like
if they both doing the same job, they deserve the same pay.
Big cap. If we are two people working the same position at Walmart, and every day I'm going above and beyond, I'm doing work that really the manager should be doing, but I'm getting paid the same as my peers at the regular sales associate position. I should be, at one point or another, I should be either get bonuses, some type of incentive to do my extra work, or I should get promoted before my constituents, whether I'm a male, female, black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. It does not matter. If I bring more value, I get more money. That's how the world works. That's how the workforce works. Whether you in entertainment or you work in sales or you work as a freaking customer service agent, if you are putting in the work, you're going to get more money at some point or another. If we're doing the same job and you sitting on your butt every single day, you don't deserve the same money that I get. Or if I'm sitting on my butt every single day, I don't deserve the same pay as the person who's going above and beyond. The people in the minor leagues don't deserve the same pay as the people in the major leagues at the highest level because they don't have the same value. It's as simple as that. It has nothing to do with gender. If I could get paid, I was a business owner, and I could pay out my employees less if they were female, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hire all women. I'm never going to hire men. Why would I intentionally spend more money? If it was okay for me to pay women less, there would be no reason to hire men. Think about it. Let's continue.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, but at the same time, then why would someone want to star in their movie?
I
mean,
what would be the benefit of having a celebrity in your movie if they weren't gonna, bring more people to the theater?
right. That makes sense, but
they're both doing the same job, but don't they have different value to the project?
Yeah, but I feel
you're right.
I feel
So shouldn't their
heart.
pay, reflect the value that they're bringing to the movie?
Yeah. I agree with that. I feel like it depends on what part you play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't that completely disprove the gender pay gap right there?
Yeah.
Well, damn.
All right.
You have two actors who are basically both starring and doing the same job, but they have different value because one is a celebrity and the other one's an unknown.
And you're saying with the basketball?
Well, what I'm saying is when it comes to basketball, right? Yeah. A lot of women say that the WNBA should be paid the same as the NBA, but they don't. But they don't generate the same revenue. So isn't that kind of like the same analogy as the celebrity getting paid more than the no-name actor?
In some respect, but at the end of the day, I would say to advertise them more. In all respect, if we look at Nike, if we look at Adidas, who do we see? We mostly see male, athletes. I'm trying to make it pose models.
But even if you advertise something more, does that necessarily mean that you're going to have more success? I mean, there's tons of businesses that fail.
Right.
But there's a ton that make it, and it's by advertising.
Acting, it requires you to act, put a little bit more work into it. Actually read a script, right? Read a script, do all these things that NBA players don't have to really do.
No.
They just practice and they just, so you can't compare them.
Yes, you
can't compare the two.
It's a craft, lady.
As far as the pay rate is concerned.
Well, once again, like I said, they're both, they're both training. They're both basically, they're both doing, acting, whether you're a male or female actor, you're still basically, doing the same work, but they shouldn't be paid the same?
I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I'm over it.
You're not a critical thinker.
I don't think it's based off of discrimination. I think it's based off of how long you've been at your job, how well you are with your technique, and how good you are at what you do. I think that's what matters.
Do you think high-paid Hollywood actors should have their money redistributed so struggling actors can have a living wage?
No.
No, those struggling actors need to work harder for their money if that's what they want.
Okay. But it's funny how a lot of Hollywood actors often talk about, socialism.
Yeah, I see.
So, okay. How do you solve the gender pay gap?
There's not a gender pay gap. That's complete bullshit.
There has been some skepticism about the gender pay gap.
We're waking up.
For equal work. Do you believe the wage gap is due more to sexism or productivity?
I think it's sexism.
Yes.
Okay.
I think men get paid more.
Yep.
Cow.
It's got to be productivity.
Can you show me a job where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Porn?
Facts.
Okay.
I don't know.
Actors and actresses.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm?
Actors and actresses. They'll be in the same movie.
Yep.
Doing the same amount of work.
Yeah.
If the wage gap exists, then why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
Because companies can be sexist. And that's like the point. That's the problem.
No.
Why would companies employ men when it would be cheaper to hire women?
That is a good one. Hold on.
They wouldn't.
They probably wouldn't.
I mean, if women are capable of doing just as good a job and for less money, wouldn't it make sense for a company to hire all women?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if women were getting paid less, what is it, 70 cents on the dollar, yeah, companies would, find a good deal in that, yeah.
Is there a wage gap or an earnings gap?
It's got to be an earnings gap.
If men earn more than women overall, could it possibly be because men typically choose higher paying jobs, more dangerous jobs, and work longer hours?
Yep, these are all facts. I work as a truck driver. I don't see clearly as many female truck drivers as I do male. It's a dangerous job. It's a long job. You're driving for hours. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Don't women generally choose lower paying fields like education and nursing as opposed to math, science, and ditch digging jobs?
Yeah, more thinking more.
So wouldn't their pay reflect that?
Yeah, women like to work with people, men like to work with things.
Facts.
Don't women also choose to take more time off to focus on friends and family, whereas men are more likely to be devoted to work?
Yep.
I think, this is also another fact, biology of life.
Yep.
Women have to bury a child and they have to take maternity leave. So that's a very big issue for most CEOs in the company because they can't really have that liability for an employee to take leave for such a long time. And that's one of the biggest concerns for women being paid so low is because of their it all has to do with.
But isn't that biology? And
yes, it has to do with biology. That's why we're upset.
Why should an employer be responsible for a woman's choice to have a kid?
They're not responsible, but it's just the basic ethics.
It actually is illegal to discriminate pay based on gender. Why aren't more women filing class action lawsuits against companies that don't pay them equally?
Right.
I would say it's a lot easier to get another job. I mean, I'd love to say we're going to fight
Cut it out.
And we do, but to the extent of a lawsuit, I mean, get a new job.
Don't people sue for discrimination all the time?
All the time.
Also, I feel like it's a lot harder for anybody to then go sue their job due to something that happened, knowing that they're going to go through all the legal fees. They have the possibility of not then winning that.
A lot of people don't understand when you file a lawsuit, most lawyers will take money out of the settlement. They don't take money up front. The only real lawyers, for the most part, that take money up front are criminal lawyers, because there's no guarantee that you're going to win your case. But when lawyers review these different people's cases coming in front of them, a lot of the times, especially in the civil sector, you got civil and criminal. In the civil sector, most lawyers take money if you win. It's not that hard to get a lawyer. Let's continue.
That case, although they very much would have been discriminated against, there's not a high chance that they could win it. And if they do, you get a payout, pays out through the staff, like things like that.
But even a class action lawsuit, I mean, if it was happening as frequently as you hear about it, you would think that companies would be sued all the time.
You would think, but I also don't think a lot of people are going to go through their time to sue a company knowing that it might be more repercussions to them in the end due to money and legal fees and all of that.
I also just think it's not talked about enough in the workplace. Like, there's a large stigma around discussing your pay with your coworkers, because what if you do make more than them and then they're like, hey, like, why are you getting paid more than me? It's something that you don't generally talk about with your coworkers. Like, oh, by the way, I make this much a year, you know? I make this much per paycheck. It's not something that comes up in workplace conversation.
Can you tell me any jobs where the pay scale for men and women is different?
Not off the top of my head.
Exactly.
I can. Actors. I mean, broad amount of payment, but men are higher paid actors.
Why are some industries dominated by men and others by women?
Oh. Dang, I don't know.
Why are there more female than male strippers and prostitutes, and what does that say about society?
That sex sells, and
exactly.
The female body is more pleasurable to look at, I guess.
Exactly.
Would it be possible to sell sex if men did not sexually objectify women?
No. That's why I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
If I didn't get objectified, I wouldn't get paid.
That's what gets you paid.
That's how people view women.
Okay. Why don't men complain about female strippers and prostitutes earning more than male ones?
That's a good question.
How much of our economy is driven by men buying things to please and impress women?
Oh, man, it's got to be close to 100%, if not, in the high 90s,
Would you agree that most consumer spending is geared towards women?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the statistics are right. I think 86% of consumer base is women.
Would you also agree that the media pushes a campaign of fear and consumption by exploiting men's need for female validation?
Yeah, look at dating websites. They're not there to find love. They're there to extract as much resources out of men as possible.
So why is there so much talk about the exploitation of women, but we never talk about this exploitation of men?
It's like the society growing up thing, like, toughen up, young man, or, men don't cry or something like that.
Suck it up.
It's expected of men to front the bill.
Finally, why is there so much talk about a gender pay gap, but not a gender spend gap?
Ooh.
I sometimes I believe women want to be men in the sense of that they want the ambition, they want the drive that they have, they want the results, but results aren't given to everybody equally.
How should we determine which jobs are more valuable?
It's about supply and demand when it comes to what's valuable. So, if it's cracking, if it's a lot of people that want the business, whatever the job is offering, then it should pay more. Like McDonald's, man. I think McDonald's workers should get paid more. They making all them goddamn cheeseburgers, man. Pay them McDonald's workers more money, man.
No.
Women can do more
Don't
than
pay
men
them more
can
money.
in certain aspects, and men can do more than women can in certain aspects.
So if a man is making more...
People fail to realize when people put these pressures on these companies to pay their employees more money, guess who's going to pay the employees the more money? It's not going to be the employer. It's going to be the customer. That's how inflation is driven up. That's one of the ways is the pay. If you go to certain parts of the country, look at the cost of living, right? The cost of living is higher in California than it is in the Midwest. But guess what? If you go to California, most jobs pay more than they do in the Midwest. The more money people make, the more expensive things get. When the social average income of a community goes up, the prices in that community goes up. It's economics, folks. Let's continue.
It's because he's doing a job that I probably can't do.
So can we agree that men and women are different?
Yes.
There you go. What does it mean when somebody says that's a man's job?
I think in society, it's meant to mean that it's like a more macho or like laborious job, society-wise.
Okay, what's a woman's job?
A woman's job is anything she wants to be. I mean...
Well, wouldn't a man's job also be anything he wants it to be then?
Yes.
In the same respect, yeah.
Hard work, labor, out and open.
What's a woman's job?
Cook, clean, and make sure the house is good.
Do you think most women want to do those jobs today?
They should.
But do they want to?
Probably not.
So why are men still expected to be what women want if women are no longer encouraged to be what men want?
It's the world we live in.
Isn't that a world of double standards?
It is.
Mechanics, getting your hands dirty, moving labor, driving trucks.
Facts.
The list could go on and on.
Why are women more concerned with the ratio of male to female CEOs as opposed to the ratio of lower paid, dangerous, dirty jobs done mostly by men?
I think because women who want to start their own business or want to be their own CEO are frowned upon because it's looked at that's a man's job, not a woman's job.
It's on the tip of my brain. It's like they don't even acknowledge that as something that makes the world go round. We're in Las Vegas. Men built all of these skyscrapers, roads. There's probably some women in there, but yeah, they're just invisible to that.
Yeah, you're standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. That was built by a man, probably. Would you rather have a high-profile job for no pay or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
I struggle with the smell of poo. So I think a high-profile job with no pay, because when you think about it, it would come with incentives.
You can pay your mortgage though.
I guess there's pros to both of them, but to give you a flat-out answer, I would prefer to have the high-profile job without pay, because if I was high-profile, I'd market myself to be sponsored by some company and just keep working at it and get money, get paid, do more with that platform I have.
I'm cleaning sewers for $100K, man. Ain't no shame in my game.
Ooh.
I'm cleaning sewers. There's no question about it.
Why?
More money.
Clean the sewers. I'm just going in my head. No, I'm going to clean the sewers for $100,000 a year.
Or clean sewers for $100,000 a year.
Oh my God. I'd rather the first one.
Okay, so wouldn't that explain why you're paid less?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do...
Because I really don't want to do that.
You don't want to do the dangerous, dirty jobs.
No.
So could that possibly be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination or based on choice?
And choices.
We're getting somewhere, folks. We're getting somewhere, folks. Let me know down in the description, in the comment section below, what you guys think about these answers. And let's give a round of applause in the comment section below to It's Complicated for these intelligent, thought-provoking questions that he comes up with. My man literally works magic on the camera. But if you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy content like this, go click that subscribe button. When you do, click the bell and click all so you make sure that you get every notification when a video like this is uploaded from myself. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel of lately. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. It's your boy RJ. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Deuces, YouTube.